I don't know why my model was making that expression, but whatever. Alright, let's get music going. Is it not? I clearly need to turn the music up a bit. Oh, excuse me. That should be good. Alright. So, we are back with more editing. No rainstorm to impede me, although my body is doing its absolute best to make up for that. I'm pretty sure several parts of my body are doing their absolute best to shut down on me. I know my brain demands sleep. My heart doesn't seem to be happy with me today. My stomach and other organs. So it's one of those days. My arms are sore, my legs are sore. Anyway, we're here. We're going. Got work to do. So, no rest for the weary, as the old saying goes. I also got the dog going back and forth. Alright. Music should be good. The mic seems to be working properly. Everything so far seems to be okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get stuff done. See how it goes. I don't know what is going on, but I just cannot select the things that I want for some reason. Keeps clicking on other things, deselecting everything. We are in for a fun time. A fun time indeed. Alright. Is the gain too low? Oh. Yeah, no, the gain on my mic was turned all the way to basically 0. I don't know why. The volume levels looked fine, so I didn't put much thought into it, but holy crap. I don't know what the heck happened. My gain was gone. There was no gain on my mic whatsoever. That was really weird. That was very strange indeed. We'll just move it a bit closer, turn the gain down a bit, and maybe then we'll be fine. We should be fine. Pick up a little less of the PC noise. I need to get a little table, a sturdy but little table, so that I can have a new setup for my PC so that the fan is not blowing directly across my desk, directly into my microphone. I would have it turned the other way, but then cleaning it would be a whole process. And I can't have it on the left side of my desk to negate both problems because there's no room on the left side, and trying to make room would require me to reorient the entire room setup, and that would take ultimately more time than any other solution. So we just tried to make do with what we can. Had a bit of a weird something I saw today, where I noticed that a YouTuber slash streamer that I've watched content of for quite a while now has suddenly got a VTuber model, and I don't know if it's like on a whim or if they're trying to go fully VTuber now, and it's just like, I have watched content of you for like a decade with your human face, and now suddenly you are a VTuber, and not just any VTuber, a VTuber with a model that is not, it's not as high quality as I would expect from somebody that should have the means to acquire a higher end model. The model seems like lower end than mine. But to be fair, I have a phenomenal artist for mine, so. And the rigger's pretty good too. So I think I lucked out on finding some really great talent at lower cost. But crazy high-tech stuff. Anyway, it was just weird. He was like, what the heck? This is your new thing, huh? I don't know what it is with a lot of people, not a ton, but every now and then you'll see people just shift into the VTuber sphere out of nowhere. It's, well, obviously not a bad thing, yeah, but it's kind of like a, oh, okay. I feel like VTubing is usually more used for people who fit into two general categories, where either A, they do not want to show their face, or B, which they can be combined, but B, they don't really have the tools or setup slash room environment, whatever, to make a good streaming space, like me. Or a combination of the two and whatnot. But it just kind of feels weird to see people who have all of that don't fit into pretty much any of those categories. It's like, I'm a VTuber now. Like, Well, whatever. What am I looking for there? Seems a bit odd, but at the end of the day, I don't care. So, okay. I don't know. Random topic, but it's just something I saw today and was like, that's interesting. Speaking of things I saw today, while I was setting up stream, when I opened up Steam to open VTube Studios, I saw in the announcements tab, or notification, whatever the crap it is, an announcement from the team behind Power World. They gave the release date for the 1.0. July 10th, Power World is officially releasing. I need to watch the trailer for it. I'm really, really, really hoping that there's some really good stuff that's gonna be in the 1.0. Because I do enjoy the game, but as somebody who likes to be the home base person in such games, they leave a little to be desired in the home base person role. The building mechanics are... I talked about it in the last gaming stream a couple weeks back, but it's kind of annoying, some of the hoops you have to jump through to be able to build anything. I'm thinking that maybe I should bring back the 6-hour stream thing that I used to do twice a year and do one of those with the Power World update. Just play Power World for a while or something. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, it really depends, because this summer so far is kicking my butt. So Monday, and this has been a rather normal occurrence this summer, but Monday I fell asleep at my desk while editing, and I slept for like 2 to 3 hours, woke up at like 8 p.m. and ultimately got very little done for the day. I needed to get a lot more done, got very little done. It was disappointing, to say the least. So now I'm kind of behind on my editing. I was already behind to begin with because the summer's just been horrendous. It's been super busy, and I need to do a bunch of IRL stuff. Like, I need to take my car into the shop. I need to take it into 2 different shops, because I need to take it into one shop to get it checked out, because it's a shop that I trust. I need to get it checked out and get a couple things fixed up on it, so that then I can take it to another shop that I don't trust as much, but the shop that I do trust does not offer tire alignments. So I need to go do that because my tires are apparently all screwy, and if I don't get it fixed, eventually my steering is going to stop functioning properly. It's already pretty loose. It leans heavily to the left. Not super heavily. Like, I don't have to fight it, but if you leave it alone, it will just immediately go to the left. So I need to take it to a place to get that fixed, but I want to take it to a place I trust so that I can get other stuff looked at, so that I have a good idea of what the car situation is, so that when I take it to the other place and if they try to screw me over, I will have stuff ready so that they can't. That's a whole thing. I also need to take my dog to the vet for booster shot for vaccine stuff and whatnot. Nothing major. So I got a bunch of real world stuff happening. I've got the summer job schedule, which is a bit of a nightmare this year, because the school district I work for decided, hey, so we've built a bunch of new schools, and instead of planning things out and prepping stuff ahead of time so that we're not rushed, we decided to just do all of this crap all at the same time and make it everybody else's problem. So summer work will end in the middle of July, so my boss will no longer be able to do any work at our school, and will have to go to the new schools to help the district figure stuff out. And I will basically technically not have a job for a month and a half, because I will not be my boss is not going to be given any hours, nor will to give out, nor will I be allowed to be doing any work in the building at that time. So not only are we in crunch mode to get 3 months worth of stuff done in half the time, I have to figure out budgeting to figure out what am I going to do with the 1.5 paychecks for the next 3 months. So that's fun. Which of course has led to messing up my sleep schedule and so on and so forth, so that I'm falling asleep a bunch. So I've fallen behind on a lot of my editing work, which means that the bonus compilation is taking a lot longer than I would have liked. I was fully expecting to be like, so I think I mapped it out to there being like, hold on. There are 6 main sections, with the intro being section 1, and then maybe a 7th section being the outro. I haven't figured. No, wait, no. There's the intro section, then there are 7 other sections, then there's possibly an outro section. That's what it is. So 8 to 9 different sections of the video that I've divided up and have been working on. And I was fully expecting to have anywhere from section 4 to section 6 done by the end of, if not May, then June, because the intro and section 1 are a bit more heavy on the editing. Section 4 has some major editing in it, but sections 3 and 5 are fairly more minor. Section 7 is pretty simple. So it's like I've got 3 heavy editing sections, 2 minor editing sections and at least 1 like very minimal editing section. So I was like, hey, I'll be able to have a lot done. This will be fine. I'll be able to make some update posts on Twitter about it and let people know that, hey, this project is still ongoing. Don't worry. But no. That has not been going well. At all. I do have the intro like 99% done. I don't want to say 100% because I could, if I look through it again, I might notice something like, oh, hey, I need to do that. So I don't want to say 100% because I don't want to make myself feel like I don't have to look back through it and maybe do more work on it. And then section 1 and I think most of section 2 are pretty much done. Section 1's in about the same boat as the intro. It's like 99% of the way done. If I watch through it again, I might find some more stuff to do with it, but I think it's pretty much done. I found a section in, I found a bit in section 4 that I really wanted to do editing on, so I did some heavy editing on it while it was fresh on my mind. And I was going to make a different version of that edit to make a update post with, but I haven't been able to get around to do that. But I got that editing done. That took me like, this was back during my regular work schedule, so it took me around 10 hours to get done, give or take. Part of that was technology limitation because it was partially done in After Effects, and the more that After Effects keeps getting updated, the less my computer is able to keep up. So it can take a while for my computer to be able to render some stuff. Not too bad, but getting worse. Little by little. I really want to get that project done as quickly as possible though, because I am very excited about it. I've been having a lot of fun working on it, and I'm really, 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 really wanting people to see it. Especially certain people. Evil laugh. But over the years, I found that one of the big hurdles that I have with getting bigger projects done is that I don't always plan it out as well as I should. So that by the time I'm really getting work done on it, some stuff, like I might need some footage from other VODs or something, but too much time has passed and the VODs are gone, so I can't keep working on the project anymore and it just dies out. It's kind of one of the big problems I've run into over the years. This time around, I tried my absolute best to make sure that would never happen. I downloaded, I think it's around 8, maybe 9 different VODs to make absolute certain that if I thought, hey, maybe I could go back and look and grab this, I can go and do that. So even if it takes me a year to get the compilation done, I can still do that. I highly doubt it will, and I definitely hope it won't, but I have learned valuable lessons, and I'm doing my best to take those lessons that I have learned and apply them in my future, present and future work. Of course, this is on top of, not this month, but next month I think is going to be a bit screwy if I remember the calendar correctly, where we're going to have an empty week at the beginning of, I think it's the beginning of July, where it's like, the way the days match up, it doesn't make sense for the top clip compilations, because I think Tuesday is a day in June, if I remember correctly. So I can't. So the first week won't be the top clip videos. The second week will start the top clip videos. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna. I have some clips saved up that I can use for that first week, but that just means I have to edit those. There's a little bit of extra editing. Not immediately, but coming up. So it's going to be a very busy summer. Or at least a very stressful summer. I'm really hoping that I can do a progress update post for the bonus compilation either Friday or Saturday to finally give an update on that. If all goes well, we'll see. Weekends have also been pretty busy. Let's see. 2 weeks ago, I had my brother's graduation. Last week, I had family in town. So weekends have also been as busy as my weekdays for the past 2 weeks. This weekend should be pretty in the clear. Cross fingers. Fingers crossed that I'll be able to get something. I definitely was not ready for life to decide, hey, I'm here to beat the crap out of you, to put it mildly. Not to the extent where I run into any extreme difficulties yet, but you know, a long list of mild inconveniences all at the same time, as well as a couple medium level inconveniences. All right. Okay, we've been doing this new style for a little while, so let's see if we have any we do not have any crossover. Yes, I am working on a series of compilations. 6 of them. Alright, we're gonna have to do all of them from scratch. Alright. Oh, I forgot my chat box is hiding what I'm looking at. I really need to figure out, should I leave the chat box there? It's fine, there it is. We're just gonna have to make all of the text styles separate. We have not yet reached the point where any of these new text styles are being reused. We have not reached that point yet. I think it'll take another maybe month or 2 for that to start happening. Maybe. How many of these do we have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 rows of 3, 1 row of 1, and 1 row of 2, so 15 rows of 3. So 15 times 3. 45. I don't know why I needed to do that. It's just the 15, 3 15s. So some of those are double, obviously. Don't know where I'm going with this math. My train of thought shut down when I started doing math. It was a bad idea. Math was a bad idea. It ruined everything. My entire train of thought's gone. But all right. I feel like Clio colors won't be that bad, right? Maybe. Let's just do some, like, the white here. Might darken that later. Go for well, actually, no. We'll do like the darker green here, and then we'll do the lighter green there. Not bad. It's too dark. Let's just do this by hand. Do the blue a little bit. That didn't do anything. There we go. It's not a lot, but it's just slightly subdued white, so it's not blinding. Yeah, that bit's a little bit darker. I feel like that's not bad. Hmm. I don't know why that seems better to me. Let's try. That's way too green. That's too dark. I don't know, too bright just didn't seem quite right. But too dark also seems wrong. Try to find some happy middle ground. I think we're just back to where we started. I wonder if I'd have an easier time going off of the overlay. Oh, this is really determined not to be in the middle. Okay, yeah, it's a bit too dark. Maybe the regular white wasn't that bad. I just want to see. Yeah, no. I was just curious. I do think that will suffice, though. I think what's throwing me off is that right where it is right here, there's this white thing in the background, so it's changing how I'm viewing the colors as compared to here where there's black in the background. The lengths you have to go to when you can't see color properly. Having to base my entire color selection off of a person's already established color palette. For multiple reasons, but yes, I am very, very, very colorblind. think I still have my old test results. Did on stream a long time ago now. I do still have that. So this is I did this colorblind test on stream a while ago. I did a few of them, but this was the one that the results page, I think, showed the most easy to... Like, I can just pull up the picture and go, this. Without explaining too much. Going into too long-winded of a thing about it. But suffice to say, the red and the green cones in my eyeballs do not work very well. But 50% here, a little over 75% here. Yeah. Oh. It's actually not a terrible range of colors there, but let's see if there's... It's not bad. Alright. I'm pretty sure we can work with this, because we've got a few different colors to work with here. Go with that one there. The lighter purple. What I'm assuming, obviously, purple. And then not quite fully black, so some... No, that blends too much. Too light. It's a little difficult with these VTubers who have multiple models that they use semi-interchangeably. Like, they get a new model and like a couple months later they've got another new model and you're just like, okay, hold on. I think what I need to start doing is I need to start looking at different VTuber profiles to see if they have established color palettes in I forgot the word. Like, I've got one. I know Vivi has one. But just like the main, whatever the crap the word is, with the model in the color palette and general information, that stuff. I feel like the color palette stays mostly the same with the different models. I'm just not... I don't know, using plain white, I feel like it works, but it also gives it a little generic kind of feeling to it. I try to go a little bit off-white, using an emphasis color. This one might be a bit too grayish. Going with this little bit of blue here instead. Or is it purple or I don't know. I also don't entirely care. This whole color scheme is basically just pure purple. I'm also a little bit biased when it comes to cooler colors like blue and purple because they are easier for my eyes to gaze upon. So, just a tiny bit of bias there. Yeah. Stream lag is never fun. Both for the streamer and for the viewer. Figuring it out on either end is a pain. And as an editor, as I recently learned. I recently ran into a problem where a video I was editing, I realized that the model had gone decently out of sync with the voice. So while working on the video, I had to separate the video and the audio and move them around to try to resync everything. So you'd have scenes where they'd have a big reaction, like, but the gasp would come like a few seconds before the model movement. So I had to try to time it. I haven't run into that before, which, thinking on it, it's kind of a miracle that I haven't had that problem before. But okay, I feel like this isn't bad, but I need to look at it on different backgrounds to make sure that it remains not bad. Yeah. After you've made a cut and you realize, oh crap, okay, now I need to go and re-grab the old stuff that I cut out and cut it back down from scratch so I can splice it back in. It becomes or just grab an old section and re-extend it. Unless you already cut out the audio, then you need to go and grab the whole thing if you're using Premiere. It can be a whole thing. It's always fun. I try not to get too caught up on figuring out the text styles, because I know if I pause and think about it, I'm going to get caught up on, okay, this doesn't look quite right. Not really sure about this. I need to go like, this is a general color combo and stick with it. But I do think this is a little too dark. And is this a little too dark in the middle? Because I do feel like it fits the overall design here. I'm basing this largely on like the hair, because from what I don't watch a lot of Cha-Cha's content, but from what I've seen in a lot of it, across the different models, the general like face and hair and the colors around it tend to stay the same. So I'm trying to focus on those areas. Maybe I could find a really good blue in the eyes. Right around here. That change. Ooh, yeah, I like that more. Alright, I'm pretty sure Aura's gonna be a pretty easy one to figure out. At least for the two primary colors, black and red. Pretty straightforward. Just kind of go for type of colors you find in design. That's a bit too dark of a red. Maybe aim for I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, that works. I think it'll really start standing out once we switch the central color. Just to pick a lighter color for now. That's actually not bad. Yeah, the darker color in the center helps it stand out a bit more. Not a huge difference, but it is a difference. Just a little that way. A little closer to white. I feel like this outer area just, I don't know. Hmm. Not entirely sold on this one. A lot of the color palette here is just different shades of green, which works fine here, but in the text, it doesn't work quite as well. Not without, you know, adding a lot of detail that's not my forte and also would take way too long and would not be quite as easily translatable. Like trying to figure out, like, or maybe I could do different highlights in different sections and make some parts lighter, some parts darker, some parts more white, some parts more dark green. Yeah. I don't think this is bad. It's just, I don't know, something about it just not fully clicking. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I am curious, there is a little, on the chibi model, there is a little bit of darker green. A couple spots. Try to do that, and then... Yeah, no. This seems weird. Oh, and this is gonna be another one of those ones. I don't know if there's a more common color palette across different designs and styles and whatnot. But Zentrea is another YouTuber that has a lot of models. And they come with some vastly different styles and color palettes and whatnot. I think the red is something that we're gonna want to stick to. The red and like the darker gray. So at the very least, maybe go for that. Now, do we want a lighter red or a darker red? Start with this red and darker. You could try just going straight. Nah. I don't want to go just straight to total black. This doesn't fit quite as well. Let's aim for this little area here. It's about the darkest we can get. And then we can maybe go lighter in a minute, but we'll do that for now, and then we'll go here so we can change the middle and really get a look at what we're dealing with. We'll base this one off this hair here. I'm not sure what colors to like orange, because like a lot of the models tend to go for like a fiery kind of color combos, like the little more orange in the eyes, red hair, and then some like darker grays in other areas. And then this one obviously goes into like some bigger changes with the hair changes a completely different color. The eyes are I don't even know. I don't even. There's a lot going on there. The color there, color there, color there, color here. It's like, okay, hold on. Ooh, chibi model. I like chibi models for one very specific reason. Well, okay. In terms of doing what we're doing here, the colors, the color palettes for chibi models are much more simplistic and straightforward. Makes it a lot easier to figure out exactly what's going on with colors and what to work with. Not always exactly what you're looking for, but it does make for an easier base. That's not bad. I think the main problem I run into is there's a bunch of different hues of different colors, and they don't always translate well into... And textiles are... It's a very simple color palette. VTuber models are a bit more complex. They use the different hues and shades and lighting and blah 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 to change a lot of different stuff around to make it look more alive, which is all good. But when you try to like simplify it back down into the primaries, using a chibi is a lot easier. I feel like I've done another... Yeah, they will have a lot of different items and different things, and when okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, it does at least stand out from other fiery type styles I've done before. So I think this is good. I don't know if we want to go for another shade of red. It's a little less orange. I feel like this is a bit on the orange side. Maybe a bit dark. The darker I go with the red, the harder it is to see the portion in the center. So we could go with the darker colors, the red and the black, make them darker, or we could stick with the lighter ones. They're a bit more on the orange side. Personally, I feel like I have an easier time looking at this one than the darker one. Legibility wise, I feel like it stands out a bit more. Let's try looking at it in different backgrounds. Best of luck with your work. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate it. I'm glad people are enjoying these compilations. I do try to work hard on them since I can't do as much clip edits as I used to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the lighter colors. It just goes easier on the eyes, at least for me. Increased legibility is a good thing to aim for. Right. Some of these compilations are starting to pick up in terms of views and engagement and whatnot, so that's good. I definitely don't think most people would tell you it's a very good idea to take your least viewed video idea and make that your pretty much only video style. I don't think most people would recommend that. But sometimes life doesn't really give you much of a choice. Alright. I'm also not entirely sure what to do with this one. Because I'm not entirely sure what the official color palette is here. Because I don't know entirely sure what's going on with there's a big name change and style change and a completely different model aesthetic, completely different model in general. And I don't know if the previous model and aesthetic, style, whatever theme, I don't know if that's still technically also in use or if this is the new thing. I'm not entirely sure. I think I have... I might not. I thought I had an older text style that I did for previous iteration, but it might not be on here. I'm really not sure where to go with this one. I suppose I could just make a very specific one. And we'll just do a parentheses one, and then we can make a new one if we need to down the line. A lot of the colors here are fairly similar to the colors here. So let's go... That's not gonna work too well. I think I need to get a new headset. This one's getting a little sensitive. Obviously, this is not incorporating the yellow. Gonna be honest, I have no idea where I would even begin to try to incorporate a yellowish color with this. It just doesn't make much sense to add in. It's a bit too... I also really do not like using yellow. It's a color that really hurts my eyes, so I don't work with it nearly as often as others. It's a bit much. I feel like that's not bad. You could really do a lot worse with this. Don't think the red is going to change much because it's not really a lot of different lighter or darker colors mixed in there. Yeah, it pretty much doesn't change a whole lot. I think I spelled that wrong. I think there was 2 eyes. I don't remember. It's literally, I'm looking at it right here. There's 2 eyes. Blind. I am blind. All right. Where the crap did I put the... Oh, there it is. Okay, I need this one, and I need that one. I don't like the new notepad. It's like the new one runs way too high of a risk of freaking doxing myself using it. Fun. It's fun. I think this got a little all over the place. Alright, this is gonna be a major pain in the butt to try to do back and forth on, so I'm just gonna move it over here. What? Why is it not working? What in the world is going on? There it goes. What the crap? Why was it changing that one? Oh. And here's an idea. Maybe I can try to split them between the two. Let's try that real quick. I'm gonna grab Notepad, put it there, and Premiere there. See how that goes. That a little better. That. Yeah. It's a little bit easier when a bunch of these are just one word. Ah, crap. Oh, there is the to bring some form of conversation back to this, instead of just me being dead silent for the next 20 minutes, give or take. I haven't talked about some of the manga and other stories that I've been getting into lately. I usually talk about it every now and then. Just if I find something either really interesting or something that's kind of annoying, there's like, why? There was one, so there's one that I did find interesting that I think is actually really good, and I did see that it might be getting an anime adaptation. I say might because there's a fake, what I like to call a fake anime style that's been going around lately, the past few seasons, where basically they'll just do like animated images. So it's like a slightly animated slideshow, and that's it. It is very disappointing. And each of the episodes is like 5 to 10 minutes, and that's it. It's pretty garbage, especially since a lot of the ones that have been doing that have been covering some of the stories that I really like, and I hate it. Anyway, that's why I say it's possibly getting an anime. It might be one of those crappy ones, but anyway. No. Okay, yeah, that's what's going on. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But, so one story that I came across that I thought was rather interesting, it's one of those whole, like, reincarnated as the villainess in some Otome game and whatever, you know, fairly common romance trope these days. But where this one differed is that I think I've seen a few that do part of this, but not the full thing. So the original character doesn't get fully replaced. The person who reincarnates think they did, but they did. So the story is told from the perspective of the original body, the original villainess, as she basically, when her body gets replaced, her soul gets replaced in her body by the reincarnated Japanese girl. She basically sits in this black void representing her mind and watches everything on like a big TV screen. So she not only gets to see what the reincarnated girl is doing in her body in the present, she also gets to see that girl's past, which also allows her to see her the potential future or the story of the game. So what would have been her future. So she has all three of these perspectives that she gets to kind of view at once, kind of thing. And it's very unique in how they like being from her perspective and shaping their relationship, where she sees how much this girl liked her character in the game, and when she's inside of her body wants to do everything she can to make her favorite character happy, especially in the case of like the reincarnated girl thinking, I can't remember her name, I think it was Emmy. There's like Emmy, and then I don't remember what the villain's name is. Emmy's kind of thought process is like, I want to make sure that the villainess's life is as happy as possible, but two, on the off chance that I go back to my world and the villainess gets her body back, I want her to come back to a happier life where maybe she can make some changes and things will be better. Kind of, that's her kind of thought process, and the villainous kind. So Emmy gains great appreciation for the villainous through the game. The villainous gains great appreciation for Emmy through viewing Emmy in Emmy's past and present in her own body. So they kind of form this like sisterly relationship without actually ever meeting each other. Where this gets, I think I've seen a few stories that do something similar to that, but where this one gets interesting is that partway through the story, something happens. I don't want to spoil much because I want to give people a chance to look into it. Not that I remember what it's called, but anyway. Something happens which causes the two souls to switch places. So the Emmy gets stuck inside. The villainess gets her body back. But the story is continued to be told through the perspective of the original villainess. So you don't know what happened to Emmy. At least so far. And so the story from there continues to be told from the villainess's perspective and her wanting to do things to make Emmy's life better and open up opportunities for if and when Emmy takes over the body again. They kind of literally switch places. I'm not explaining it the best, but it's very fascinating, and I think it was a really good story, especially as they go into the lore of the world and the different characters' perspectives on doing things. I do think some of the characters are a bit cliche. The heroine from the game is very cliche because of course she is. But it's not bad. I think it's definitely a very interesting story, and I'm certainly interested in seeing how it ends. Ah, great. Did it again. Ah, crap. So that was the one that interested me. There was another one that semi-interested me. It's basically isekai into an otome game type. Not really an otome. No, it's not an otome game, but isekai into a video game world. But very, very, very heavily inspired by Code Geass. And I mean heavily inspired by Code Geass. I'm not a big fan of Code Geass. I'm really not. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. So it's kind of like this is interesting, but the main character is both likable and unlikable at the same time. And the very heavy Code Geass inspiration is a little annoying. But it does offer some unique twists and some interesting tension plot points for the characters. So, I don't know. I think it's a story that has potential, but the one that annoyed me, I didn't get very far into it because I just haven't gotten far into it yet. I'm planning on going through all of it, but there was just one part of it that irritated me so much that I just had to take a break from it. So it's a story that follows another typical trope. Instead of the isekai one, it's the got banished from the hero's party type one. It's that trope. The main character is a girl, and she is a blacksmith. And the hero kicks her out because he thinks she's a very weak blacksmith, but it's like, oh, shocker, she was I mean, they give it away in the freaking title and whatnot, but you can get the picture pretty easily because it's fairly cliche. It's like, oh, surprise, she was actually like the strongest ever, and haha, joke's on you. Which is fair enough. I don't hate on that because I watch those shows all the time. People might call them slop, but I like them for the most part. Except for the stupid water mage one. I don't like that one. That one's dumb. Very, very, very dumb. Don't like it. Main character's terrible. The first episode is so horribly atrocious, I refuse to watch it. I refuse to watch the show. It's just so stupid. Anyway, back to the point. So, this one, main character's a blacksmith. Gets fired by the hero. Hero almost immediately figures out his mistake when he talks to the girl's apprentice. He's like, "What have you done?" Where I took issue with the story is immediately after getting kicked out by the hero, she goes to a nearby town to try to figure out where she's going to go to start a new life. And she runs into some ne'er-do-wells in an alleyway, because of course she does. And gets assaulted, because of course she does. Somebody really wanted to write that kind of plot line for some reason. Probably because it served as a great time to introduce one of the male leads in the story to come save the day, knight in shining armor type cliche. The reason why I took issue with it in particular is because writing that kind of scene is an insult to blacksmiths everywhere. Having your main character, who's supposed to be the greatest blacksmith in the entire world, and very specifically depicts her as like a normal blacksmith. Yes, this is a world of magic, of swords and sorcery, magic and whatnot, but she's not using magic to do the blacksmithing. She's actually hammering the iron and whatnot herself in the forge. And anyone doing that kind of job would and should be insanely ripped. Muscles like crazy. Should have a lot of good arm strength and whatnot. Definitely should not be a tiny, skinny, petite little girl who immediately, without any resistance whatsoever, loses a fight to some random punks in the street. like, really? Just some random dudes. Not like, oh, these are actually really strong adventurers, or these are guys who do the blah, 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 blah. They're just like random, skinny, like average Joe punks. And it's like, really? You not know how blacksmithing works? Would she win the fight? I don't know. Like, it depends on what you want for the story, and some people might get into the debate on physical things with men and women and biology, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. What irks me is that the best blacksmith in the world has zero muscle mass. She's super skinny and loses the fight instantly. Doesn't even put up a fight at all. It's not even a fight. It's just like, guys show up, boom, scene happens. And it's like, okay, what the crap. It irritated me so much. I got to the part of the one of the male leads swooping in to save the day, and it's like, I'm moving on for a bit. This is dumb. It just irritated me so much. There are just certain things that can lead to a good amount of muscle strength in certain areas that would definitely shock some people. And I think blacksmith is definitely one of them. It's kind of like the farmer strength kind of thing, where they don't have like super massive, like a lot of farmer type people don't have like super massive muscles, but they're shockingly strong. You know, like you might be surprised how strong they are, kind of thing, because of the work that goes into a lot of farm work and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense in this day and age. I don't know how many people understand that kind of point, but I don't know. Yeah, there's just, I'm getting really off track here. I'm getting horribly distracted and trying to get this done, aren't I? But that was just something that kind of annoyed me. It's not like it was a big deal, but it was kind of like a really. Gonna just disrespect the amount of work that would go into blacksmithing and the muscle strength and muscle growth that would come from all that and whatnot. Just make it make a little, at least a little bit more sense. I just feel like it's kind of like an example of weaker world building. I don't think every detail of a character needs to be explained, but I do think that the extra details can really help elevate world building elements and really strengthen the rules of the world, and can help reduce the amount of plot holes or confusion points and things like that. So I think it can be important to, as a writer, to do one's best to formulate things in a way that makes enough logical sense that you won't have readers getting pulled out of the immersion of the story, scratching their heads in utter confusion. Now, it doesn't have to, the details don't have to follow the exact rules and of reality of our world, the real world. But so long as there is some form of established rule and the character details in particular follow those rules, it really helps. For the first few videos, this process was making great sense in my mind, and I was doing really well combining these two sections of the work, and it was flowing really well. And then somewhere along the way, my brain just decided, you know what? I give up. And now I'm just messing up like crazy. Multitasking is clearly not for me. uh Okay, it just moved on to the next playlist. Or video, or anyway, whatever. I don't plan on doing audio editing today. I need to go check on the dog when I'm done with this, and I also need to make food. So Oh, that sneeze. I actually could keep an eye on because it took forever to load in. I was sitting on that one long enough that I actually debated whether or not to say that I needed to sneeze. I had enough time to go through my mind, like, should I mention it out loud that, like, hey, I need to sneeze, and then sneeze? Or should I just sneeze and then go, yeah, sorry, I had to sneeze? I had enough time to form that thought in my mind before I sneezed. Form the thought and actually put thought into the thought. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. That's that. Oh, man. Alright, well, I gotta go get stuff done, so... I think this is where we will leave things off. Oh wow, Twitch, you added a new section like, oh hey, here's some people you could possibly collab with. Oh, ooh, fun. Yeah, just whatever. Alright, well, thanks everybody that came by. I appreciate it as always. We'll see what the next streams bring us. Just gonna kind of play it by ear, since I don't know if we'll be doing much editing wise, but we'll see. Till then, hope y'all have a good one, and I hope to see you all again another time. Bye bye.